guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Courtney for those of you who are new to my channel. In today's video, I thought I would do a video so that you guys could get to know me a little bit better. And before I jump right in with that video, I just want to say that I did get a new camera and I am super excited about that. It's a new Canon EOS Rebel T6, I think is what it is. And it also came with a bunch of, it was like a bundle package, and it came with several different lenses, a tripod, screen protectors, different filters, just all kinds of different stuff. And it came with a flash and just all kinds of different stuff. So I'm super excited to start using it for photography and then for filming purposes for videos and stuff like that. And yeah, like I said, I'm really excited, and hopefully the quality of videos that I'm going to be making are going to be a lot better than what you've previously been seeing. But yeah, so let's go ahead and jump right into the video. So I was born October 3rd, 1988, so that makes me 30 years old right now. And I was born obviously to my mom and dad, and I grew up in a small town, and I had an older brother, and my grandparents, they also helped raise me, so I spent a lot of time with my grandparents. They lived on a farm, and when I was about probably 6 years old, I think I was in kindergarten, my friend who lived across the street from me, she invited me to vacation Bible school at her church, and so I went with her, and I didn't really know what to expect, but I was really excited. And so on the last night they had like a closing ceremony, and that's when I accepted Jesus into my heart. And I remember I didn't really know exactly what that meant, but I remember coming home and like telling my mom and dad, "Oh, Mom and Dad, like Jesus lives in my heart." And so from that point forward, my grandma, she actually invited me to go to church with her at her church. And so ever since that point, so I just became involved with the children's ministry at her church. And so I would go to church with her every Sunday. And then I became involved with the youth group as I got older. And I was very active in church. And then, so like I said, I spent a lot of time with my grandparents. And then when I was 9 years old, my parents, they got divorced. So that was probably the hardest thing that I'd had to deal with, like as a child. When my parents divorced, I didn't really understand why. And so for a little bit of time, like I kind of questioned God, like, why would you let this happen? My perfect little family, like everything that I thought, you know, was supposed to be, it isn't anymore. And so for me, like as an elementary student, that was really difficult. And so I went through elementary school, and then I moved on to middle school. And middle school was just really difficult for me because you're kind of coming into your own, and you're finding out who your friends are. And of course, like you want to be popular, and you want to, you're just kind of, you're growing up. And for me, like I didn't really have a whole lot of friends. And so the church that I went to is in the next town over. So a lot of my friends were part of the youth group. So I didn't really have a whole lot of friends at school. And so for me, like middle school was hard. And then getting into high school again, I didn't have a whole lot of friends. And I wasn't part of, you know, the in crowd, the popular people. And, you know, it's crazy to me now because a lot of the friends that I have now, like I went to high school with, but they were a few years younger than me. And so I didn't really realize at the time, like how many Christians there actually were that I went to high school with. And so for me, I feel like that's something that I would do over. But at the same time, like high school, a lot of people say that they would want to like redo high school, and for me, I don't think that that's something that I would want to redo, because for me, I think I struggled a lot because I didn't have a lot of friends because I wasn't popular, and I kind of just did my own thing. And again, a lot of my friends were part of the youth group at my church, and they were from the next town over, so I didn't have a whole lot of things in common with a lot of people that I went to school with, or that's what I thought, because again, like I was the quiet, shy person, so I didn't always like put myself out there and stuff, and so it was hard for me to make friends, and so like that's why like high school was difficult for me. And I also when I was in middle school, if we back up to middle school, like that's where I was starting to really grow in my faith, and I was starting to take my faith seriously. And when I was in 7th grade, like I went through confirmation class, and that's where I really started to like put my trust in the Lord. And so once I got to high school, like I knew that I didn't want to be caught up in things that were just not good for me. And so I remember times in high school where, like during study hall, like I would actually sit and I would, sometimes if I would have my homework done, like I would sit and I would journal. Or, like I would actually bring my Bible. Like I would be that girl that would bring her Bible to school with her, and I would sit during study hall and I would read it. Like I was never like a Bible thumper. Like I would never force my beliefs on anybody, but I would always kind of keep to myself. And so that was kind of my experience with high school. When senior year kind of rolled around and everyone started talking about college, like I kind of got scared because I always thought that I knew what I wanted to do, but when it came down to it, like I didn't have a clue what I wanted to do. And for the longest time, like I thought that God was actually calling me into youth ministry, and I kind of felt that calling when I was a freshman in high school. And so I thought that that's what I was going to do. And then senior year rolled around and everyone started making plans for college, and I was like, oh my goodness, like I don't have a clue what I'm going to do with my life. Like I really don't know. Like I'm scared because I don't have a clue what I want to do. And so as everyone's making plans and stuff, I'm like, you know what? Like I'm not sure if I'm ready for fall, if I'm ready for college in the fall. And so I ended up taking a year off from school just to kind of get my life together and to figure out what I wanted to do. And the next year I ended up going back to college, and at that point I still didn't know like what I wanted to do. And so I just started taking like basic classes and stuff, and then finally it kind of hit me one night. Literally, like it hit me and I was like, oh my goodness, like I am supposed to be a teacher. Like I love kids, and I used to joke around like when I was really little, and I'm like, I'm going to be a teacher when I grow up. Like that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a teacher. And I used to always play teacher in school, like with my brother and stuff when I was little. And I also, I just loved like playing school and stuff. So I thought that that's what I was going to do when I was little. And then as I got older, I was like, there is no way that I'm going to be a teacher. Like teachers don't make enough money. Like that's just not for me. And then one night, all of a sudden, like, I was like, nope, that's what I want to do. I want to be a preschool teacher. Like I love kids. And so that's actually what I'm doing. That's actually what I'm doing with my life right now, is I'm a preschool teacher. So it's kind of cool how things kind of come full circle. In the summer of 2008, I went on a mission trip to Grenada for the first time. And then again in the summer of 2009, I went back to Grenada for the second time on a mission trip. And it was during that mission trip that I received a phone call that my brother passed away. He was killed in a car accident. So for me, that was very devastating, and I think that was even worse than my parents' divorce, to be completely honest, because that's not something that, I was 20 years old at the time when that happened, so that's not something that you expect to happen, and you don't expect to have to say goodbye to one of your siblings, and he was my only sibling. So again, that was something else that played a huge factor in my just my relationship with God. And so I became really angry with God for a while, and I didn't really understand how like he would allow something like that to happen, something so like devastating and traumatic. And it took me a really long time. It took me almost a year to be able to move on and like to be able to heal from that situation, and to be able to realize that, you know, God is still good. And that is just something that has impacted my life tremendously. And I think that because of that situation, though, that I've been able to look at other situations differently, and I realized just how precious life truly is, and how just how precious life is, and that just things can happen in a heartbeat, and you're not necessarily guaranteed tomorrow. And so you just need to just kind of embrace the moment that you're in. And I've just kind of been able to completely put my trust in God. And even though that was a really difficult situation, I've been able to realize that God is in control of every aspect of my life. And it's something that has drawn me even closer to God. Okay, so that accident was almost 10 years ago. So let's fast forward 10 years to now. And in those 10 years, other difficult things have happened in my life. My mom has had cancer, my grandpa had cancer, and then he later passed away. I've gone through different hardships. I've gone through job changes. I've gone through the loss of different friendships and just different seasons of my life. But like here I am today, and this is where God has placed me, and I've just been able to completely put my trust in God. And I don't necessarily know what tomorrow is going to bring, but I know that God does have a plan for my life. And I honestly never would have imagined that here I am, that I would be making YouTube videos, because I'm not going to lie, like I'm an introvert. Like I don't like talking in front of people, but I feel like it's a lot easier for me to talk in front of a camera than it is to talk in front of like hundreds and thousands of people. And the goal of my entire YouTube channel is I just really want to share my faith with other people and just my journey and where I've been and things that I've gone through, and hopefully hopefully something that I say helps somebody else. And yeah, so I just wanted to share this stuff with you guys and share a little bit of my testimony, and hopefully you guys learn something new about me, and hopefully maybe something I said maybe sparked something with one of you guys, or just helped you guys to get to know me a little bit better. So if you guys liked this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up like usual. And if you guys have any questions or comments, you can drop those down in the comment section, and I will always reply to, or at least I'll always try and respond to every comment. And as usual, if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye!